Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and this is part of my Boxcar Children series that I'm doing rapid fire because I need to get these things done. So we're going to be looking at the Mountaintop Mystery. Now, I found some of these in reader form, so I was skimming through those so I could get through them. This is the actual paperback form. This is, how long this is? 128 pages. So they're elementary school. I don't know if I'll read them to my daughter. She may or may not have the temperament for it. She's almost 5 right now. So yeah, she's not big on sitting still. But the gist of this story is Benny wants to climb a mountain. Their grandfather knows an archaeologist. They go climb this flat top mountain. There is a landslide, so they're stuck. The archaeologist, who strangely enough is female, has already gone down and gets a helicopter to get help. They notice there's a cave open in the mountain. They come down, they meet a Native American woman, an old Native American woman, and it's like, my family was forced to leave this area, possibly connection to the Trail of Tears, so it doesn't mention it. It might mention it as in the actual book. Just beware. I've mentioned this in a few other videos. These did come out in the 1960s. Take this into account. Issues. I'm sure there are issues in this book because there was issues in some of the other books when it comes to Native American artifacts. So in this case, this woman's family, her family had left a treasure hidden in this cave. And so they also see that somebody's kind of sneaking around trying to get into the cave. And it turns out that this is this Native American woman's great nephew who's heard about it. He didn't realize the family had been separated, probably to reservations. Again, knowing the time period, there's going to be some issues you need to talk about with this book. Always take that into account with the Boxcar Children, is they were in fact written in the 1960s. So our modern understanding isn't always going to be there, but it is a good way to talk about how we treat Native Americans now, particularly their artifacts and stuff we find from their past that belong to the tribes and need to be returned to the tribes. But again, the basic is they're trying to find the mystery of this cave, of who's sneaking in there without them, and they find out it's this nephew who's looking for the family treasure and reunites him with his great aunt, so kind of reuniting him with his heritage, so to speak. They do show, at least in the picture book, the Native woman dressed in Native clothing. Let me skim through. There are pictures in these books. So the old woman is showed kind of like this. So she is actually showed like a modern older woman in this one. So let's see if I can. The children's version that I was looking at has more colored pictures, but in fact I have it sitting here, so it shows its image of the native woman is a little bit different, as you can see. I think there's a better picture. So this is her with the great nephew. So she looks like a lot younger. In the Boxcar Children paperback version of the longer book that I have here, should we pull up the pictures here? See if I can find the ending. Yes, there's a treasure here. So, that's probably it. So she kind of looks like that. So it's a little bit different. But nonetheless, just be careful with that. Because again, this book came out in the 1960s, in fact. Let's see if the original publication date is on here. This is showing, yeah, the original copyright is 1964. So just be aware of the time period, and use it as a discussion point. Because again, these books were written in the past. It was still time children were running around playing cowboys and Indians. And we didn't really respect Native American artifacts at all. In fact, I think some of the Indian schools might have still been going on. I could be off. They could have finished, at least in the U.S. I'm sure that they were still going on for the First Nations in Canada at the time. But also, these books are far removed from, again, still cowboys and Indians. They're far removed from the Trail of Tears kind of thing. And yeah, it's the 60s. Cowboys and Indians and all sorts of things that are not culturally sensitive or appropriate now will probably show up in this book. And I was scared it did, because again, 64. So that is the end of this review. If you like what you see, I will be covering the rest of these. Some of these may be in and out of order, depending on what I can get a hold of. But they're extremely formulaic. They are great reads. Scholastic has a whole page for them with a whole bunch of school stuff. So there's a whole bunch of already pre-made activities and stuff ready for these books. They are fantastic introductions to mysteries, even if I find them a little bit dull. But again, I'm a 40-year-old adult woman. As much as I like mysteries, these are formulaic for me. So like and subscribe. I will finish covering these books along with a bunch of other stuff, and a whole bunch of stuff that's already up. And I will get going. So thank you, and again, like and subscribe.